What's up, guys? It's your otaku here. Just got off a great live stream with John from Old Stuff is Cool, and great conversation. Go check out his channel. Old Stuff is Cool with the IZ is IZ. Um, you can also check out the video linked uh, under my live streams. Um, Great guy, yeah. And just a fellow kind of nerd and collector. Um, but yeah, it was a great conversation, great time, and just looking forward to supporting his channel and yeah, building upon the conversation that we had today. So thank you, John, and again, this is just the beginning of, or the start of, hopefully, a very uh, fruitful friendship. Okay, and with that being said, we tried to keep it very quiet this week, but we did pick up some books, and I'll go over what those are. I should have prepared them. Actually, they're right here. Yeah, they're right here. There's one more book. Let me get that one out. This is it right here. And we have another book too. Just a second. All right, got all the books now. So yeah, there's just a lot that happened this week, and I just want to kind of go through everything because a lot has happened, and I just want to just kind of focus on it for a little bit, and hopefully get a lot of eyes on this particular video, because we're, those of us that share our space here in the comic book community, my circle of, I guess, my pod, is that what they called it back in the day, the pandemic days? But my sphere of influence, or my circle of YouTube creators, we had the fortune, I should say, of well, first off, I want to give all the credit to Namanyang. Namanyang did really spend a lot of time tracking down Master Kim Sanho. And for those of you who don't know who Kim Sanho is, go and check out the interview that Namanyang did. You can go to his channel. I have it also linked on my playlist for AAPI Comic Book Heritage Month. I have a playlist there, and I'm gonna, we didn't ever have I have it under a community for a long time. And community can mean, so many different things. So I just created a separate AAPI Comic Book Community Heritage Month playlist. And, we did have a lot of great interviews and stuff. I'm going to try to cycle in all the great interviews and things we've covered over the years into that playlist so that it's easily accessible. But one of the first video I posted in there is Namanyang's interview with Sanho Kim, Roger, and again, a comic book worm, and Metarog sat down with Master Kim and talked about his, kind of his introduction to American comics, how he got his start as the first Asian creator in the comic book industry here in America. So he's a trailblazing figure. But he was already a well-established household name in South Korea, having created the best-selling manga title there, known as Ryphi. And Ryphi is a science fiction character based off Superman of all characters. So it's kind of crazy that they were able to sit down with him. He is 87 years old, okay, but the man is sharp as anybody I've ever seen of that age. Still very healthy, in great health, it looks like. And he can speak English. None of us expected that. I mean, obviously, you have to communicate in English to work in the industry, but we weren't expecting him to be so articulate in English. He really has a real amazing command of the English language. He's an American citizen. That's something else we learned. So it was a really just insightful time with him. He imparted a lot of, just knowledge around some of the works he did, some of the techniques he used, and kind of what he brought to the table as a Korean creator to the Charlton works. You're talking about a time in American comic books where Asian stereotypes, negative stereotypes, sort of racist tropes around Asian characters and characterization were still sort of the theme or popular, subject of the day. And again, for Kim to come in and just completely toss all that out the window, I'm sure there were some conversations around, hey, this is my culture, this is my language, this is my contribution to this work. This is what I kind of want to, he obviously worked with the editorial team there to be able to create a book like Ghostly Tales, which largely focuses on Korean sort of horror genre, ghost tales, folk tales. And yeah, just to even get a book like that approved, back in the day would have been just unheard of. But because Charlton was targeted at, mainly distributed at the PX military installations, you had a lot of GIs kind of stationed in Asia. Having access to comic books was important. And here comes this comic book, kind of giving them some, cultural, sort of context to where they are, and maybe a little bit of an education on the history and the culture of Korea. And yeah, it just made sense that, during a very sort of progressive time around race relations, as America's kind of grappling with its, sort of social issues at the time, that a creator like Kim would come along and kind of break the color barrier for Asians in American comic books. And you really, without Master Kim's work, you wouldn't have artists like Alfredo Alcala come into the mix, Ernie Chan come into the mix, people like Greg LaRocque, Jim Lee, Wills Portacio, the list goes on, Sean Chen, Bernard Chang, all of these, but Peach Momoko. I mean, I could just, the industry is so full of Asian presence today. And really there, that in terms of the creative forces There's so many different influences here and there from across the Pacific. It really is hard to kind of quantify or magnify what that influence is, but that influence had a starting point, and that starting point was Sanho Kim. So right now, I'm just gonna kind of share what we're doing here. And again, I really hope we get a lot of eyes on this video itself. Because it is very important. It's kind of become my personal mission this year to get this done. I'm very passionate about this, and it is a community effort. It isn't one individual that's going to sway the panel of judges. It really needs to be a community effort. And so, if you watch this and you feel as passionately as I do about Kim's place in the Hall of Fame, the Eisner Hall of Fame, I'm hoping you join us. And what I mean by that is there are several things you can do to advocate for Kim's inclusion. At least have some kind of like lifetime recognition award. The man's 87 years old. Again, he had such a trailblazing presence here at Charlton Comics. We really need to revive his legacy and just kind of put focus into this man, who he is, what he did for comics on a global scale. And right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link, and I'm also going to play a little excerpt of the interview. So first off, in the chat, whoops, what am I doing here? I'm actually accessing the link, sorry. Oh, I can't, okay, well, it's in the chat right now, so I put the link there. It's just a simple online form that you fill out. You put your first, last name, and email address, digitally sign it. And this is the important part here, because what we're going to do is we're going to, this form populates a spreadsheet of all the names. And we're hoping to get as many signatures as possible. I don't want to put a number on the number of signatures we need to get to move the needle. I feel like 100, even 100 signatures is enough for the panel of judges, the Eisner Hall of Fame panel, to do their own due diligence around this, right? Ask the right questions, and hopefully be swayed. And if we don't do it this year, we're going to keep knocking on the door. Again, Sanho Kim, 87 years old. We'd obviously, he's in great health. He travels to New York. He's an American citizen. We can get a hold of his people if we need. And again, we want him to obviously receive this honor in person. And so don't feel like, hey, my vote or my, voice is not going to matter. It's going to matter. And again, we just appreciate everybody. It's a community effort, like I said. Your signature and your comments here, this is your personal voice, your personal plea to the judges at Eisner Hall of Fame committee or panel to advocate for his inclusion into the Hall of Fame. And I kind of outline my reasons here in the description of this video. I think they're very compelling ones. I just covered them for the intro here as well. But it really is becoming a forgotten history and legacy. It's one I personally didn't know until Roger and Namanyang uh, kind of introduced it to me. This was almost a year and a half ago. We just kind of fell down the Kim Sano rabbit hole, and of course, I didn't fall as deep as the other two, but I was definitely intrigued by this. What I was unaware of was that he was the first. And then when we did a little bit more digging and we compared, all the creators of Asian, descent and heritage that have come, there wasn't anybody that preceded him. So he really is the first person to kind of break this barrier, and then open up the opportunities for people like Jim Lee, like I said. And Jim Lee right now, given where he is at the top of the DC food chain, and being as talented as he is, we have to give Master Kim a lot of thanks for uh, building those bridges for people like Jim and others to work in this industry. Um, so yes, please, if you can, sign the petition here. I put the link in the chat. Also, I just want to kind of share Master Kim. This is him, the 87-year-old Master Kim, and he's just kind of here talking about his how he broke into Charlton Comics. And again, just an incredible interview there. Again, courtesy of Metarog and Namanyang. Um, what I want to also, what's interesting is, and I'm going to try to pull this video up here. Let me see if I can find it. So I had a career in South Korea as a television reporter for sort of an English news network out in South Korea. And I did that for, I worked at this broadcast company for a good, I want to say almost 7 years. And I love my time there. But I'm sort of a reporter there for TV broadcast news. It was daily news. A lot of hard work. You got to kind of be out in the field. Then you got to write the stories, produce the video, record. So you put out a lot of B-roll reports and news reports, news packages. And through the role, I actually got to meet a lot of very interesting people, and got to really, just have a lot of opportunities. Some of them historic, some of them just really memorable to me personally. And one of the things I recall, and this is it's just one of those things, like, in the moment you don't realize, but after the fact, you basically are like, Hang on just a moment. I'm hoping I have it here. I don't have it. Um, I'm hoping this video is it. Just let me play it here. All right, so kind of got to look for the video. I'll try to post it. Because so I just to make uh without getting too deep into the issues, I do have like sort of like old reports digitized as files, and they're somewhere right now. They used to be on my hard drive here, and as you know, I had Windows issues, and my hard drive, uh, I can't access it. So I need to actually get somebody to pull the hard drive and get all the files from there. But right now, those video files of my old reports, they're kind of just trapped. I did cover it with Namanhyung a long time ago. That specific report around the my report on the Korean manhwa, because one of the stories I covered back in 2000, it was around 2000 or 2001. I had the assignment to go cover Pucheon City, which is just sort of a satellite city of Seoul, but it got sort of the Korean government's designation to be the um, cultural city for Korean manhwa promotion. So you become the city was set up as this sort of like, we're going to promote Korean comics. And one of the initial things they did with the funding was to open up the first Korean manhwa museum. And Korea has a very long story. You know, this was back in 2000, but you're talking about a almost 100-year history of Korean manhwa. And the manhwa started off as just sort of illustrations in newspapers, the first newspapers in Korea. And then they evolved into what kind of mimics manga in a lot of ways, but was its own separate, uh, kind of had its own identity in terms of uh, contrast to manga. Now, there was a lot of influence from manga because Japan was at the time sort of a more industrialized nation, and you had a more robust manga industry there. But the two cultures have always been kind of intertwined with that kind of cultural content because, again, Japan's colonial presence in Korea influenced Korea to a great degree. Their economic cooperation, post-war cooperation, was also very key. But the factor that kind of melded it was Korea was a source of creative labor for the Japanese animation industry. So I don't know if you've ever watched like a Naruto, uh, you know, anime episode, but if you look at the credits, it's all Korean names. If you've ever watched the credits for like Naruto, you'll see that they're all it's like Japanese in the initial, and then all the like artist creators, the people that are actually making the animation cells for these television and movie series. Um, Toei Animation or Toei Studios or whatever, they are basically outsourcing Korean artists to do all that creative work on these projects. And it's been that way for many, many years, even from, again, when I was preceding my time in Korea as a reporter. Um, but even today, it's like that relationship is there. It's a symbiotic relationship. But the reason Korean manhwa, there's a lot of reasons why Korean manhwa never had the real investment or, I guess, backing to compete with manga, was just really around priorities and economic priorities for the country. Um, but yeah, obviously Japanese colonialism also probably played a big part. Um, you just had sort of I don't know, just people love comic books, but it wasn't like as popular as I think of a like a cultural product as some other things like music and whatnot. But hey, what's up, Brian? What's up, Gordon? Thanks for joining, guys. So yeah, my point here is I attended this opening of this museum. And of course, they're going to feature the history of Korean comic books. But really, the best selling comic book back in the 1960s, early 60s, was a series called Ryphi. And in Korean, it's pronounced Ryphi. But Ryphi was created by Sanho Kim. And Sanho Kim drew inspiration for this character from like Western comics. He basically kind of mimicked the design of Superman, gave him a cape, gave him this sort of Dio is the kind of the RL pronunciation, the consonant D, but it looks like a backward S when you write it. So it kind of, again, there's some design elements there that he thought would homage a Superman, I guess. But he inspired that design from Superman. But he also, the character is more kind of like this Buck Rogers 007, like space cadet kind of person. He has a ray gun, and he's based in science fiction, right? Which again, in 1966, you got to realize this was capturing the global imagination with American, it's landing on the moon, the space, sort of the space race and all that. That became the best-selling comic book issue and series in Korean manhwa history, and it remains to this day the best-selling. I mean, it's like the central figure of the Korean manhwa scene. And when I went to this, Puchon manhwa museum opening, they did a whole ribbon cutting, and they were giving me all these people to interview. And of course, rather than interview the greatest comic book artist there in the country, who was present at that, Kim Sano was present at that event, they put in front of me a city official. He's the president of the Korean Manhwa Society. He was basically the architect of the whole project. So we had to interview him, and but he was very articulate. He spoke English, and he was just talking about the the purpose of the museum, the rich history of Korean manhwa, and again, it was just talking about the moment, like how they would engage people who visited and what people could expect. And this museum has grown in popularity. It's actually a very popular destination for Koreans and foreigners alike. The museum's still going strong today. Korean manhwa is not what it used to be. It's grown quite a bit, and it's grown in the digital space, the digital comic reading space, not the physical manhwa, the buying the books, but actually as digital content. Because Koreans are so connected to the internet, it's really, you know, uh, people there are hyper connected to the digital content, internet, being on their phones 24/7, like most of us. But yeah, it's a different space compared to American comic books and Japanese comic books. But yeah, go and visit. I'm going to show off the museum right here while we have you, just to kind of show you, give you context as to. Again, I covered the museum opening back when it opened. This is, let me share my screen here. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. No, this is an article. Hang on. This is it right here. Okay, so, ooh, what's going on here? Hang on just a moment. Got broken links happening. Okay, I think this is it. Let's hope. Nope, that's not it. Google, what are we going to do with you? Google never puts the stuff you're actually looking for. There we go. All right, finally got it. All right. So this is the Korean manhwa museum. And I don't know why they're showing there. I guess they're showing movies there now and stuff, animation movies. That's fine. Kids have to do something, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of content here, obviously, in Korean, but they're promoting, Korean comics. They're promoting the history, past, present, and kind of future of what this space looks like. I'm not going to get too deep into the site itself because obviously it's not something you guys can read and access. But anyway, yeah, I covered this opening, and there was a ribbon cutting, and there were speakers, there were people there. But I distinctly remember now that Kim Sano was there as one of the sort of the honored guests. He spoke at the event. And I didn't put two and two together initially until I was like, wait, he's a creative Ryphi. The creative Ryphi was there at this event. I didn't get a chance to like interview him or sit down with him, but I definitely was there. He was part of the ribbon cutting ceremony. He spoke. We got all that in terms of the story. And yeah, if I go back and again, I'm going to find the video and we'll watch it together once I find it. But in that report, you'll probably see him there. Um, he, yeah. Um, I just remember seeing him now on stage. And maybe it's my mind playing tricks, but I definitely remember um, seeing a gentleman of his stature and resemblance there at the opening. So for me, it's like this sort of like kind of full circle moment, and again, it really is a. It's just a personal. I want to see him be recognized. I mean, if you look at the Eisner Comic Book Hall of Fame, it's essentially a white boys club. I mean, I know Jim Lee got inducted last year. There are other people of color in the Hall of Fame. I don't want to make it seem like Jim Lee is the only non. There's some black artists there. There's women. There's obviously Jim Lee's presence. Other Asian creators as well. But for the most part, it's mostly just a lot of white guys, a lot of old white guys, dead old white guys. And so for me, my mission is to again get the buzz around Master Sanho Kim, get it going. And I can't do it alone. All I can do is use my channel, use my voice. I've created an online petition. We've already secured a lot of signatures already. But again, the signature form, the petition link is in the chat. Please, if you're watching this video, access the community petition, submit the form with your signature. And what's important is, again, a passionate plea to the judging panel, Eisner Hall of Fame judging panel, on your personal thoughts is why Kim should be included. If you don't feel inclined to do it, fine, but if you're watching this video and you think that Kim's contributions are important, that his legacy should be remembered or at least recognized, and that he gets some kind of recognition before he passes, I hope you'll go and sign the form now. The second thing, again, part of this is just to get the signatures, but the other part of this is to create some content around it. And so I'm creating my video here talking about Sanho Kim, why I think he should be in the Korean Hall of Fame, what he means to me personally, as just a Korean American in the space. I love Jim Lee, don't get me wrong, but it fills me with such pride that a Korean was the first to break into this this industry. That's first and foremost. Second, the fact that here we got to connect with him on a live stream. Now, I was at my doctor's appointment. I was on a bicycle, basically bicycling and exercising, and but I had my phone on because I didn't want to miss the interview. And boy, I couldn't hear anything. All I could do was kind of chime in. I didn't know what was going on. But by the time I got home and watched the video, boy, was that a fun conversation. And Roger and Naman, they were just like little kids. You could tell their excitement of getting to sit down with somebody they've become fanboys of, myself included. But more important than that, just what all that he's done for Korean manhwa, for American comic books, and representation here in American comic books. Given where we are today, I'm aiming for this year. So let's talk about the timeline here, okay? So this judging panel, the Eisner panel, they meet in February to vote, okay? And it's not like the Baseball Hall of Fame committee, where they just send out ballots to a bunch of like sports writers, and the sports writers kind of like give their list, and then they kind of tally people who got the most votes and what. It's not like that. It does have that element to it. It's basically a two-tiered process. One is they send out ballots to sort of quote unquote influencers, you know, people in this industry or this space, uh, that, and then they get those votes, like people who they think should be included in this year's, and that's going to be very varied, right? It's like it's a political process, right? You just like people go with who their maybe their personal favorites are. There's no real consensus around that, but they take that data, and this judging panel then they it's a just a panel of judges. I think we don't even know. It's like you know, it's like the Gestapo or something. I don't know. They they basically convene in February uh, with all the data and the letters or the campaigning that's done, and then they vote and select the class that will represent, and then the class is pretty inclusive. It's they're always sort of like big classes, you know. It's never just like the baseball Hall of Fame where it's like three or four guys. It's pretty. I think last year's class was pretty hefty. You know, you had like Frank Miller and Jim Lee, and you had just a bunch of like big names finally get their flowers for the legacy they built. Um, so that's the process we're hoping to influence. We want to get our letter with all the data of all the signatures to the panel committee by December. So I'm trying to collect signatures from now until December. We've got a lot of time, but I need your help to, again, share the link. It's in the chat with everybody. And Ryan, I know you're going to be in San Diego Comic Con. I'm hoping you talk to as many people there, at least share some videos or something, but talk to as many people there, get eyes on this. Maybe we'll develop some flyers or some kind of marketing material to get this going. But I'm also trying to work with Kim Sanho's own people. He's an executive with the Korean manhwa. I think they're called KAMT, or yeah, Korean Association of Manhwa something. But I'm trying to get in connection with those people because we obviously want to promote this idea of getting him into the American Hall of Fame with the Korean netizens who will make anything go viral. Like you get a Korean netizen involved, they will just like use their social media powers, and maybe, you know, like I don't know, Blackpink will start dancing to like you know, a Kim Sanho advocacy video. I don't know that. I mean, the possibilities are limitless, but we just got to get the BTS right. BTS will be like, get him in, and then it's game over. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm trying to coordinate with as many, you know, cross Pacific ties. We obviously don't want to make just this an American campaign, but more of like a Asian global campaign, hopefully. But it all starts with you signing the petition, sharing it, and talking about it, not just be like, hey, can you sign this? No, a person has to understand why they're signing something, and really have buy-in to like, oh, I believe in this. I want it. I want to promote this. I want to advocate for this. And let's try to get this in front of as many viewers and people as we can. And so I'm just pleading with my little audience here to share, to promote it, uh, talk about it with your friends, um, and see where this goes. The second leg of this, along with the online petition, is for you to create content. That's the other thing. Like we all have this channel, and this channel can direct an algorithm, right? If we get enough videos out there talking about Sanho Kim, talking about this campaign to get him into the, again, we've got a good 6 months to get this, build buzz around this. So if you can, I would encourage you to just kind of like what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be a live stream. It can be a short, it can be, just a short content video or a longer form video. It can just be a social media post. Whatever you do, kind of link the form, ask people to sign it, talk about Kim Sanho, what he's done in comic books, why he should be included. These are all important things to include in your video, and but also I think add this hashtag. We want to add the hashtag Eisner Hall of Fame. And the reason I'm saying Eisner Hall of Fame is because whether you put, you can create as many creative hashtags as possible. But I just feel like Eisner Hall of Fame is the one that will gain traction with the judges. The judges are probably going to like see hashtag Eisner Hall of Fame. Oh, wait, that's directed at me. What's this all about? And when they get their eyes on it and just see that, oh, why are all these people talking about this Asian dude? It'll give them pause, even before we even send the letter, right? We want to at least get some of these judges to see something on social media where they're like, hey, what's this guy all about? Let's look into him. What's this video about? And just kind of do their own due diligence around this man and his legacy. And then when we send the letter, it's kind of like, oh yeah, we already voted it in, or it's kind of an afterthought. So we want to get the signatures, but we also want to create the buzz and the social media presence. And it has to be a sort of like a grassroots organic thing, right? It just can't be like just like 2-3 creators just doing a bunch of videos and giving away a bunch of like comic books, or leveraging it through like prizes or duck races and all that. No, we don't want to do that. We want it to be a passionate, genuine advocacy for Master Kim Sanho. And it starts with this petition. You got to put your comments in. The comments are very important because when they look through the data and they see, oh my God, there's so much to read here. There's so many people passionately. This is not like an AI, one person just putting the same comment in. It's like everybody's written in, everybody's given their 2 cents worth. It's not some auto bot generated campaign. It's real. So those are the things that we want to get going. It's not a lot of effort, but yeah, put some content out there, talk about it. Hopefully we get enough eyes on it and enough people passionate about, hey, you know what, I want to help, that it gets the algorithm to really loop itself and create the buzz for us. So hoping you guys can do those two things. Again, creating the content, signing the petition, but again, just having the conversations. Yeah, you guys. You know, you're going to be at a comic book show. I'm sure some of you are probably going to look for Kim Sanho comic books this summer. You know, Charlton books are super hard to find out in the wild in good condition. But yeah, imagine you getting you know, the first uh, cover work or a cover or the story by Kim Sanho in American comic books in high grade. Um, and he becomes an Eisner Hall of Fame next year. He gets voted in the next year's class. How cool would that be, right? And there's a lot to enjoy there in the Charlton space, and some of the he did also work for some books on DC. Um, Not too much, but again, if you wanted to collect him, he's an artist you can find on Key Collector. Go and see what books are there. Uh, let's really get this. You know, let's build upon this. I think Kim Sano is planning to do another interview with Roger and Namanhyang. Obviously, you want to get a lot of eyes on that. Share the video, promote that video. But there's, you know, it's going to be just a marathon, not a race, but a marathon to the finish line in December for this petition thing. Okay. Whew, that was a lot to kind of cover there. I'm just now going to pivot to what we always do on Fridays, and of course, just share comic books. And it's what started the whole thing here. You know, our passion for Kim Sano and all the other stuff. Oh yeah, we could do it. Yeah, Sano Kim, Eisner Hall of Fame. That works too. I like Jens's idea. All for. That's a little bit more specific. Sanho Kim, Eisner Hall of Fame. That's good. Yeah, as long as you're doing content covering Sanho Kim, feel free to add like Korean legend, Korean, you know, Jim Lee. He's the Jim Lee of Korea, and Jim Lee's the Kim Sano of America. That's literally how I'm framing. I'm like, hey, did you know Jim Lee's the Kim Sano of America? And they'll be like, what the F are you talking about? Well, let me tell you. But that's kind of like how we want to frame it, right? It's like there's no Jim Lee without. All right, Ryan, what are you saying here? I'm thinking there can be a compelling video I can get people to buy into. I can show maybe Andy Park, yeah, but maybe even Jim, yes. Right? I feel like if Jim, I don't think Jim knows this history. First off, let's be honest here. Jim doesn't know it, but Jim will know of Ryphi. He'll know Ryphi because his parents have read it. He's probably read it as a if he grew up reading comic books before he came to America, right? He'll know Ryphi, but I don't think he'll put two and two together that Ryphi artist is because I didn't do it. I didn't put the two and two together until later. But yeah, if you tell him, hey, Kim Sano is the first person to Asian person to work in American comics, and he did at Charlton. He's also the creator of Ryphi. Jim will be like, what? Yeah, and then if Jim's in on it, obviously he's going to hopefully do the right thing, and all it takes is one post from him and it's game over, man. So yes, Ryan, onegai shimasu. Please, my Japanese brother, please. I I know you have some connections there in San Diego. Just talk the talk, man. Let just give them the 411, educate them on this, and say, hey, you know what? I have friends who can introduce you to Mr. Kim. And let's see where that goes. But that would be awesome, man. Exactly. Exactly. All we need to do is just like, again, if we're creating this content, Jim's on social media, right? If we're creating enough buzz, even for Jim to be like, what the F is this? And just pop into a video and be like, oh, what's going on here? You know, it's like, um, that will, I know Jim's watching my video right now and just ghosting me. So, Jim, you're always invited to the channel. I'm your number one fan. And we take great Korean pride in the fact that uh, Kim Sanho, a legend in the manhwa space, was the first to work in American comic books. So I feel like because I'm so passionate about it, I don't even draw comics. I know Jim would be like, he would flip. He'd just be like, I know that it would be his one of his kind of life missions to you just take over and be like, look, you guys just chill in the background. I got this. And DC Comics would probably, you know, just do the works. It'd be a DC Comics presents Superman and Kim Sano special issue, something like that. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, thank you. Just share the link as well. You know, get them to sign it. Obviously, if Jim Lee and these like big wigs are signing the petition, um, it would be hard to ignore. Cool. Thanks, Ryan. All right. I am now going to show you what I picked up. It's funny because I got these books yesterday. There's a lot of things. There's so much happened this week. It's crazy. I'm not even like, what? I'm not even. It's an hour in, and we're still kind of got a lot of stuff to talk about. First off, you know, just some tertiary things like Supergirl trailer dropped. What else happened? Uh, the Mandalorian flopped, I guess. Is it a flop? Let's see how week 2 does. It seems like it's like kind of, I don't know, it kind of, no one saw it and then people started seeing it, and we'll see what week 2 does. But it looks okay. I don't know why it's like getting all this negative press, but we'll see. I haven't seen it yet, but again, it looks good. I don't see what really the complaint is. They're saying it's like not enough, not substantive enough. I mean, what at the end of the day, it's like Baby Yoda, like killing robots, destroying robots. I mean, it's like, who doesn't want to see that? But yeah, it looks fine, and it'll probably do better on digital, uh, you know, digital streaming anyway. I just like movies in general. People are just kind of like, you know, they're kind of dragging their feet to the theaters. It's not worth the gas or time with the $50 popcorn to watch. So yeah, I'm sure there's some of that as well, but I feel like, you know, when it do 150 or 150 million this first weekend, long weekend, that's not terrible. It's not Star Wars esque returns, but we're not kind of in that space anymore. Right. The franchise has gotten confusing. I think you have to be a real Star Wars. So like, this is the thing. If you don't get buy-in from the Star Wars heads, there's really no, that you just, talking to like like children at this point. Like, did you like it? Yeah, Baby Yoda was cute, right? It's like it's not a real Star Wars conversation at that point. And apparently it's really violent. It's like not meant for kids because it's just got all this violence in it. It's like Baby Yoda traumatizing kids by destroying like cute robots or droids or whatever. Anyway, I haven't even seen it, but I'm just already like it's problematic. Um, but yeah, I picked up some comic books, so I keep distracting myself. Uh, so I'm going to start with the haul first. Okay, let's just get the haul out of the way, so I can move on to other things. Um, it's funny because Jens, so the power went out at my house. Okay, yesterday. The power went out right around like I think after lunch, and my wife's like, "Oh man!" At first, I got text from the power company. Hey, we're working on getting the power. Should be restored by 3:30 this afternoon. I was like, okay, it's not going to impact me. I'll be home. You know, I'll be home at 5 or 6, so 3:30, it's fine. And then I get a text from my wife who's like, don't even bother going home. Power isn't restored yet. Just go have dinner somewhere. And then let's hope it's back. And then I get a text, oh, power will be restored by 7:30 p.m. So I go and just grab some lunch after work or dinner after work. And then Jens sends me like, hey, I'm at Half Price Books, and he shows me this photo of something. He's do you want this? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then I figure, you know what? I got time. Power's not on at my house. I'll just go check out Half Price Books. I haven't been to the Redmond Half Price Books in a while, so we'll go check it out. And there was some stuff there. So Jens and I were kind of just sending each other, hey, do you need this? Do you need that? And kind of exchanging photos. I did pick up some books for him, so I'm going to show you what I picked up. Some of it's for Jens, some of it's for Fanboy Prime. One of it's for Fanboy Prime, and one is actually for me. So let's start with the book I picked up. And let's get this going here. Yeah, you have to be conscious of the time. Yeah, it's getting really confusing. I know they haven't Darth Maul, but it's like Disney effed it up so bad that you have to have these time displacement type content. You know what I mean? Like J.J. Abrams messed up Star Wars so bad. Like it's like a black hole. That time period, that post Leia rebellion, destruction of the second Death Star, post second Death Star timeline is like now kind of nebulous space. They don't want to. It's like the Death Star. They don't want to approach the Death Star, right? It's kind of like. Anyway, let's not get into how bad that project was. But here we go. I picked up. So they had Darth Maul 1, 2, 3. They're all key issues. But I didn't want to pick. They were all like $7. I didn't want to pick them all up because, again, I'm not. I mean, they all have that. They have value. For $21, it's something like I would have picked up like $57 worth of retail book value, right? But I just decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to pick up the big key. This is the first appearance of Cad Bane and some other related bounty hunters. It is a cool Darth Maul cover there. And it's a pretty nice copy, grade wise. The issue here is right at the bottom. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but it breaks color and there's a bend. You see the bend there? I'm getting the light here. There it is. There's the bend. It's there, and you can see the color break too. So that's going to knock the grade down, but it's pressable a little bit, and once it's pressed, you should just see a little minimal color break there. So all in all, I think overall it's still going to be a near mint book. It's not a 9.8, but it'll be close enough. So I figured for that, $7 for like a $40 book, and Cad Bane and this timeline with the Darth Maul series coming out, all these stories are kind of in play right now. This book should have legs, which is why I picked it up, right? I should be able to maybe sell this and make more than $7 off this one. So that was the calculus there. And again, Jens he's been pressing books for me, and he's been very kind to get a book like this, obviously looking better. So very generous to offer to do that for me again. So cool. You got that book for me. Kind of a big pickup, I guess, in terms of first Cad Bane. That's I know he got killed in the Boba Fett series. That was controversial, but he is kind of a legend in the bounty hunting space. So that is that. And this book is for Fanboy. I picked it up for Fanboy, for obvious reasons, because Fanboy's into Supergirl, or Power Girl, I should say. So that's the reason why we got this book. I'm sorry, B. I'm having too much fun, but we got this for Fanboy. I actually like this book. It's like I asked him, hey, do you have it? Because if you don't, I kind of want to keep it, but he doesn't have it. So we're going to send it to him. And hopefully Lady Prime doesn't catch him with this book. Or if Lady Prime's watching, she can give him a good ribbing. It is just a cool cover. It's a Power Girl in leather, and yeah, it's a booty cover. There you go. These are the books we picked up for Jens. Yeah, that's a keeper. And this is Green Arrow 1. It's kind of notable because Kevin Smith actually worked on this book. He was the writer for this book. And I mean, Kevin Smith's a very talented director and writer. And anytime you have kind of like that kind of book, and it's really clean here. It's not a spine tick, it's part of the art, just to let you know. But yeah, it's I told Jens, like, is it, what's the condition? I was like, it's really clean. And we got this for $2. So yeah, and Jens, I feel like Jens is kind of, I feel like Green Arrow is your character, dude. I know you keep trying to be like Dead Man's my character, but I feel like Green Arrow is your guy. And Jens described Green Arrow as the DC Hawkeye. Oh, what? Blasphemy. The DC Hawkeye, come on. But yeah, obviously just a nice book there. Jens wanted it. I figure he would want this. So for $2, uh, it is his now. And then this is another one. This one was $8. I got this for $8, but it's the first. It's a key book because it's the first battle between Moon Knight and Punisher. And again, Jens asked the same question. I was like, "Do you want this book?" He's like, "What do you think the condition is?" And I told him, like, "Hey, man, this is high grade stuff here." Obviously, I didn't open the book up or look inside, but just from the spine, square bound spine there, looks good. No tears, no creases. Pretty clean there. Nothing color breaking. Right? What do you think, Jens? Good pickup. It's high grade. Trying to give you all the angles here. Yeah, so this is, I think, a $12 book. What is this? Yeah, like a $12 book in high grade, or sorry, raw. Who knows what it slabs for? I don't know if you're gonna slab. I don't know if you necessarily want to slab this book. This is kind of a cool book to have. Punisher Annual. What is this? Number 2. I don't know who that artist is. From 1988. Cool cover. Very cool cover. All right. So those are the pickups. 4 books. I spent $20. Yeah, $20. 2 for the Supergirl, 2 for the Green Arrow, $8 for the Punisher, and $7 for the Cad Bane first appearance. Reinhold. I want to say Reinhold. All right, so oh, okay. Bill Reinhold, that's who you think it is? It says RR. I don't know RR. Maybe it is Bill Reinhold. Okay. The next topic of conversation, and let me get it here. We're talking to John from Old Stuff is Cool, and he was mentioning, like, oh, if obviously to have some of the key books in my collection slabbed would help with the ability to sell the book, maybe command a little bit more for the book, because you have the grade there, and this was something I had been thinking about as well, and for a long time I told myself, I'm fine with having this as a raw copy because I'm never going to sell it. It's just something for my collection. But then I thought about, well, this is an investment, right? I did make an investment into this, even though it's part of my collection. What would really help with this copy is to get it in really the best form that it can be in. And for that to happen, I feel like getting this book slabbed with a grade and the the signature certification would really drive up the value of, I mean, this is an invaluable book, but if you were to like take this to auction versus the graded certified signature CGC piece, um, yeah, the latter would have a lot more value. And ultimately, I feel like a $70 submission to get this book in that ideal state is worth the investment. And so I was talking to Jens. He's been, again, kind, very kind to, because rather than me opening up my own subscription and submitting this book with 150, I'd have to pay $159 to get the discounted, tier. And then I'd have to submit this book and maybe two other books with shipping and all that. Rather than go through that whole, rigmarole, Jens has been very generous to offer to submit through his account. I can submit this one book, get the discount, and just get the book back. This would be my only submission. I might do more down the road, but at least for the summer, I don't want to use too much of my budget on these like grading. Only for the ones that I really feel like need to be done. This is really just like an investment to enhance this book. So like, I love this book. If there was like, some issue with it, where maybe I needed like pressing services or something, I would invest the money to do that, to get it looking its best, right? So in that same line of thinking, I think it's time to submit this book. It's time to submit this book. It's time to finally put a grade on it. And it's also to get that signature recognition. And it's going to be on the census. So there's going to be, signed book census data there. I mean, really the only people signing this book are going to be Denny O'Neil or Neil Adams. And I doubt you're going to have like, I mean, you might have a Kurt Swan or a Murphy Anderson signature in there somewhere. I don't know. Maybe that data is there, but for the most parts, any signature books, all those guys are dead, by the way. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, all those guys are dead. I don't, you just got to kind of assume. I think the census shares that data now. It's like signature by. So we'll see. We'll sift through the data. We'll see if there. I'm sure there are higher grades of the signed books there. I've actually seen them, so I know there are higher grades of this copy signed. But just to have one of the books, there's only a handful of signed books for this, and if I can have one of the higher grades in that mix, I'd just be over the moon on that. And again, this book, it's tough to figure out what it would come back as. It really depends on how the graders view the book. It really depends on that fact. And obviously, there are condition issues here. It's not going to get too high of a grade. But depending on how they judge that spine, first off, right? Because there's a good amount of color rub and break there. It is a little bit kind of flat and dingy. There's been maybe some cleaning done here, but obviously there was maybe some potential foxing that got cleaned up there a little bit. But all in all, again, Sharp looking corners, still vibrant. Just again, a little bit of that wear on the spine. I'm thinking anywhere from like a 5.5 to like a 7.0. It's in that range, 5.5 to a 7.0. I don't think it's going to drop to 5. It's too pretty to be a 5. But I'm thinking in the fine plus range for sure. We'll see. I'd be ecstatic with a solid fine plus grade, to be honest. Um, yeah, Jim Lee and Mark Bagley are credited. Correct, correct. Thanks for that. Now I'm going to keep the book. Just kidding. um, but yeah, this we want to get this graded, and again, we're initiating that process here on the channel today. We're going to make the investment. I think it's going to be $70 to slab. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jens. I don't know if it's cheaper with the discount. I know you submitted. I think you submitted a signature certification book for a modern book. I don't know what more the cost would be for yeah, it's preset. This is 1971 here, so it would be a older book submission. But yeah, we're hoping this comes back. I'm hoping it comes back a 7. I'm hoping it comes back a 7. I think realistically a 6. Realistically a 6. It all depends, you know. Again, we're gonna put in a nice kind of mylar, double backed board, and just roll the dice. Closer to 80, okay, closer to 80 for the book, but yeah, totally worth it. I absolutely agree. And we'll unbox this live, get my live reaction. You know, again, if you get that 7, it'll be, I'll just be. I mean, it's just it coming back with the signed by Neil Adams, you know, certified seal, the yellow label there. As long as there's nothing, uh, there's no purple label kind of nonsense going on here. It should be fine. I don't think you'll have that. I got this from a very reputable seller, Dave over at Feature Past Vintage Collectibles. So he worked on this book. He gave me what he thought the grade would be, and I just thought, like, as he's a seller, obviously he's gonna kind of like promote his wares and maybe his overstate like his ability to improve a book. I'm hoping he's right, because I do look at it and be like, yeah, it does look fantastic. And if you're gonna sway a grader, you obviously, with all this the centering and how aligned the book looks, does look great. But yeah, given all the little the micro flaws, again, the accumulation of micro flaws, it doesn't really, because they're very minute. Those aren't like major flaws. These are like accumulation of micro flaws that actually doesn't that doesn't hurt it as bad as like just like a big, like a crease or something where it's really visible. These are um, what do you call kind of negligible, an accumulation of negligible issues with the book. So again, just there's just no way to really. It really depends on the grader, and on a book like this, I know the CGC people kind of they get hard-ons when a book like this comes into their office. They obviously like have fun grading stuff like this and adding it to the census. I think anytime you have like a Neil Adams signature book, come across your desk and you get a break from the absolute Batmans or the Invincibles or whatever. It's always a good time, right? So hopefully this makes somebody's day and they give us a good grade. All right. Whew. All right. Did Jim and Scott do? Okay, that's cool. I kind of need to get that book, but I'll get out of the dollar bin, Jens. Don't worry, I'll get out of the dollar bin. Um, what am I going to cover now? All right, so yeah, so we're submitting a book to CGC, and outside of that, yeah, again, we're planning our summer budget. The other thing. So some good news. Jens and I were um, we were hunting comic books last weekend, and we got to talking and all this, and I was trying to, as you can see here, I've got like a long box or semi-short kind of long box of comics that I've been trying to sell, and I was trying to get kind of like $2 to $3 per issue for trade value per book. There's like I took 90 books or so, um, and I tried to get trades for it with two local LCS uh, shops here in my area. And one place gave me a really lowball offer. They didn't do that last time I sold with them or traded with them, but I guess times are tougher. And the Bill Kirk guy, I said, would you trade for books? And he's like, or I asked, are you buying collections? Or are you buying books? And he said, it depends on what you got. And he's like, it has to be good. And I was like, oh, there's nothing good. And he kind of gave me this look like, no, then I don't want to buy it. I got all this crap here that I bought that I haven't even organized, but all that stuff needs to get priced and all this. I'm just like, all right, so you're not buying. So it just kind of like I just went home with the books again, which I'm fine to do. I do want to get value on it. And then Jens was like, you know what, you should think about just like kind of putting it up on Facebook Marketplace. Just putting kind of like a really good bulk deal for someone and post some of the photos and do all this and see what happens. And yeah, I'm glad Jens kind of like talked me into doing that. So what I did essentially was I created kind of two bundles with some of the books. I created a Superman bundle here, a Silver Age Superman bundle. And the reason I'm kind of like wanting to move these books is because they're really like books I shouldn't have picked up, like this one here. It's got this just chunk missing out of the book. They kind of lack eye appeal. Like there's a big chunk missing there. This one's just like shot, spine split. This one has some kind of like like uh, like something there that's just nasty looking. It continues to get like grow. I think it's actually like this is a culture, like a petri dish for something. It's and this is a book I really like. I just with all the like stains and things on there, like you can see there's like some kind of turd stain on there. Yeah, all and some of these are doubles. I have this is a double. Um, this is a double. I just don't like this book. This is the art on this book just makes Superman looks, I don't know, looks like plastic down there. I don't know why they these are all books with like kind of like, and this one I got doubles of this. I probably should give away my other copy too because it's a really low grade. But I picked it up for $1, so I mean, this one I picked up for a little bit more, and it's the worst condition one. But anyway, they all have their like. This one's again spine split, some tearing. Beautiful Neil Adams cover of the race, but given all the condition issues, I just kind of wanted these gone. So I have what 9 books here. I put it on Facebook Marketplace as a $10 lot, and man, it's like I just got hit up. Everybody wanted to get this and like claiming it. So yeah, you know, I was able to. But let me show you the other lot that I posted. So I put up the Silver Age Superman lot. And I also put up a 12 book. This was 12 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What are we missing here? 9, 10, 11. Where's our other book? All right, I'm gonna have to look for that other book. Did this count? Just One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know where that would have gone. Let's just look for it one more time. Oh, I think I found this drawer. Okay, well, I gotta look for that book now because someone did claim it. So I got a 12 book X-Men run here as well. And I posted this as well, kind of as a bulk order. What's up, Tyler? How you doing, man? Yeah, the Eisners. Cool. Yeah, we're just trying to promote an advocacy campaign for Kim Sano's inclusion into the Eisner Hall of Fame. And we're trying to just get community members, some buzz going, some community members to create content, obviously sign the petition, hopefully get some bigger eyes around this, because I feel like that's kind of what needs to happen for this movement to really gain traction. So I just kind of getting the ball rolling. Hopefully it builds momentum and we can, you know, I'm hoping to do it for the next class next year, but we'll see. We'll see, because they're coming out with the announcement for. I think they announced the most recent class, or they're going to announce it this summer. So we're already kind of too late for this round. They've done the voting already, but for next year, we're working on next year's campaign. So again, Kim Sano is 87 years old. Doesn't have a lot of time left, so we need to do this while he's alive, hopefully. So we'll see where that goes. All right. So again, 12 books here. I put initial price of $25 on this 12 book, and it's like the grades range from like fine to near mint. A lot of these are probably like VF copies. Some are actually with a press a little improved, but some of them have some real condition issues. But yeah, you got some keys in here. You got, again, X-Men is heating up. So I probably shouldn't be like giving away these books, but that's pretty much what I'm doing for 12 books for $20. I actually reduced the price. And when I did, again, this guy who's getting the Superman books, he's like, hey, I'll take everything you got. I'll take the X-Men books and the Superman books. Make it really easy. When he said that, I was like, yeah, you got the whole lot for $30. So $30 for essentially 20, what is it? 21 books, right? $30 for 21 books. It works out to just under $2 a book. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with kind of that, getting the $30. The $30 will contribute to slapping that Neil Adams book. And I'm just getting rid of a bunch of X-Men books that I don't really, I love these stories. Don't get me wrong. I love these books. I love these stories, but I just don't need to have these books in my collection. It's not what I'm passionate about anymore. And I know he's probably going to flip them and get great value for it's kind of at the right time to be slanging X-Men stuff right now, given all the buzz around X-Men season 2, X-Men 97 season 2. It looks really good. But also just the MCU movie stuff as well, as we build toward that. That is it. I kind of need to find this book again. I'm meeting the guy tomorrow morning over at Half Price Books. He's gonna have the cash in hand. Just give him the pile of books there, and we'll have $30 more dollars to our budget. Every little dime helps. Jens and I are going to try to, I mean, we're disagreeing on this, but I'm going to try to like not spend. Oh, you have a mini hall? Yeah. You want to jump on? Oh, wait, can you jump on? I'm on YouTube right now. I'm not on the StreamYard, so um what'd you get? Just tell us because I'm on YouTube Studio and not StreamYard. Unless you can join. I don't know if you can join. I don't think you can join through YouTube Studio. What'd you pick up, Ryan? Any grails? Um, yeah, I don't have an invite feature on YouTube Studio. I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can. Unless you know how to do it. Can I share? No, share. I can only share screens. I can't invite people. I don't think so. Oh, I have that one. Yeah, yeah. Did you get the variant, or did you actually get? Oh, you got that book. That's nice. The Bronze Age one. That's a good book to get. People are sleeping on that book. That book should be a bigger book, in my opinion. I say it because I own it, but I yeah. I mean, oh, okay. Oh, the new one. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to pick that up too. Yeah, I actually want to pick up the Jorge Jimenez A cover one. I think that's um, the one where they're kind of back to back. The yellow cover one. That one's cool. Oh, there's a Gambit. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. And Jim wrote a Gambit. Oh, that's cool. Jim's back on X-Men. Yeah. See, I told you. I called it on this channel. I said before Jim Lee's uh, all said and done, he's gonna return and do X-Men books, and that's what he's doing. Jim Lee Gambit. There you go. Uh, you know, I called it, but I mean, we knew it was gonna happen, right? Jim's gonna do everything to kind of make that, and the whole DC Marvel crossover stuff. He probably was like went to the Marvel people and like, look, I just let me just do X-Men again. And then Chris Farley was there going, "Let the man do X-Men." He was. Jim was like, "Come on, let me do X-Men, please. I'll do really good on it." And Todd McFarlane was just sitting there yelling, "Let the man do X-Men." Um, I hope you guys got that, and hope it was funny for you as it was for me. All right, that's it. That's all I got today. Like I said, I'm meeting this guy. I hope he doesn't come and stab me in the half price books parking lot. But meeting this guy, he's gonna give me the cash. I'm gonna hand over the books, $30 to our summer budget. And yeah, my goal is I really want to spend I'm already putting $70 into the CGC submission. So it really comes down to like I have probably sorry, I'm putting $80 there. It'll come down to like the last $60 I have left right now, plus the 30 I'm getting. So what is that? That's probably like $90 right there. Plus the 200 that I'm hoping my wife gives me. I think I have 200 right there for the most part. Um, it might be 150, but anyway, 90 plus 150, that's good. I figure anything above 200 at this point is good to take to the Vancouver Canada Con, not the Vancouver Washington Con. The Vancouver Canada Con is where, again, with that Canadian rate, Canadian exchange rate discount, that's where we're hoping to pick up some great deals. Ooh, the origin of Starfire. All right. Ryan going old school here with this Starfire origins. Evan Cagle. Okay, nice. You got the art of K-pop Demon Hunters. Is that like an art book or something? Dude. And get some help, man. Demon Hunters is for like little kids, isn't it? I'm hoping it didn't suck you in. I'm sure the art is, and the art is incredible. The digital, that's the thing about animation these days. It's so technical. It's not even like, it really, you're playing in a space where when you talk about artists, artists are always, it's their eye, right? Whatever, how accurate you can be with like just looking at an image and copying it. But when it comes to motion, right, the physics of motion, you look at like the Japanese have tried to, like that's really the art of animation. It's like to get animation to look like real motion, like the physics of real motion. And with video techniques, right, through video techniques and kind of mimicking like, horse running or like something falling, you can kind of mimic it, you can kind of capture it. But that's where AI really can do it better. It can, from an animation standpoint, like you just feed it like you feed it the math, and it's going to give you as accurate of a motion. I mean, maybe it's, again, we're not there yet, but I'm saying at some point it's going to get so lifelike. Maybe we're already there, but it's going to get so lifelike that and animation is just going to blend with like actual like video, right? You just won't be able to tell at that point. And we're kind of there. I feel like a lot of the videos where they're just people walking or talking and stuff, those are all like things they have. But like maybe with some of the, for example, like capturing the motion in in the natural world, those are things, obviously harder things to like capture. And those are the most challenging things in animation, right? When you have like the movement of like a river or an ocean or just like animals and all that, those are really hard things to capture at angles and with perspective and all that. You're really limited to just the imagination, and there's obviously a discrepancy with reality there. But it doesn't have, this is the thing, like, do we really need our animation to mimic reality, or is it just, are we happy with it being that creative space where the imagination is fooled? It really just comes down to that question. But okay, I did not watch K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm not hating on it, but let's see here. What are we saying about K-pop Demon Hunters? I will say Demon Hunters was good, great music too. When I saw the trailer, I was like, "What's this?" And I watched it. Okay, yeah, I'm glad. Again, I'm not hating on it. I haven't watched it either. Um, I just, I mean, my wife was kind of chiding me like, "You don't know this song?" I'm like, "What? What is this song?" She's like, "It's K-pop Demon Hunters." I'm like, "What is that?" I just got these blank stares. Like, that was cool. Yeah, yeah. The Korean artists kind of being on the Emmy stage, the Grammy stage, and the Academy Award stage. Right? It got didn't it get an Oscar for something like best movie soundtrack? They did a movie already, didn't they? I'm so just behind the K-pop Demon Hunter thing. I feel like I'm not Korean. I just could care less. But I'm glad that it's again for AAPI Heritage Month. We want to recognize K-pop Demon Hunters and all the the popularity of that. Um, it's a win for um, people who dream of being K-pop Demon Hunters um, as a career. I know we're gonna have a big boon in K-pop demon hunting for sure with all the little girls that want to be K-pop demon hunters or the K-pop stars, I guess, K-pop artists. Oh, great! We got the K-pop fandom coming out now. I'm starting to hear Jenny, BTS, Katie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. K-pop's definitely it's popular for sure. Um, yeah, I'm just I lived in Korea for many many years, and there are probably a handful of people, all girl groups, by the way, because that's just how my brain works. But there were just a handful of like Girls' Generation was definitely one of those like K-pop groups that I really liked. I also there was like a Korean hip hop scene. So there were I was friends with a lot of the Korean hip. I mean I'm in a music video, Drunken Tiger music video. All these things that I don't kind of share about myself, but I had this like completely different life in Korea. So it's just weird to like frame these kinds of conversations. But yeah, I was into like the hip hop scene there because my friends were the ones making the music there. And outside of just a handful of groups, I just didn't like K-pop all that much. I mean, you listen to it, you're kind of surrounded by it. But when I was in Korea, I was mostly like trying to stay current with the American pop scene. Like a lot of top 40 stuff. Obviously hip hop still. Like you just listen to you know love Big Pun. I love you know Fat Joe. Like Ashanti, that was big when I was out in Korea. Ashanti was just like blowing up, and had to keep up with all that kind of stuff, which was cool. R&B, hip hop stuff. You could still get the airplay of that in Korea. But yeah, like again, it's hard to just like again. I was not like most Korean music listeners. There were so many groups that came out that I just like whatever. I'm not a fan. I was kind of more entrenched in like my American music taste than the Korean music tastes. And I'm still to this day, I'm just like, K-pop's okay. I mean, it's like, those kids work hard. I mean, you realize these like K-pop artists, they start training from like when they're like prepubescent, right? And now they're just, and sometimes you join these programs as a cute kid, and then you turn ugly, and then like you don't really have a career. You waste all this time because you're just ugly now. You didn't blossom into um, a good-looking person. Then that ends your career. And then you got BTS, a bunch of like kind of average-looking guys who just became mega stars. It's just confounding how that industry works. But yeah, Big Bang. Yeah, Big Bang is they're the good-looking guys. BTS, not so much. I think there's one good-looking BTS dude, and all the other ones are just like, how did you get to be a K-pop star, dude? Like, you look like you should be waiting tables somewhere. But there's some way like call that not cute. That's what I'm talking about. It's like that kind of stuff. It's like a lot of the girl groups. Like you look at their before photos, and what I mean by before photos is like before their debut and before their plastic surgery transformation. um these girls like start off like cute, like, oh, they could be potentially, I guess attractive as an adult, right? So you take these like kids, and then you train the shit out of them, like dancing and like choreography and like singing and all that. And then they hit puberty, and then they um, grow into women, and then like three-fourths of them are like, damn, all right, we're gonna send you the plastic surgeon and like fix you up. And that's the industry. That's what they signed up for. And so they're getting the best surgeons to work. They're not getting like the uh the local you know the local 7-Eleven clinic. They're getting you know the Chebol uh service clinic, the appointment only consultation type clinics. Yeah, it's a brutal beauty standard and industry in Korea. So I just again these I feel sorry for these young boys and young girls that get sucked into all that. I mean, you just go in it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get plastic surgery at some point, and I hope it works out well for me. Yeah, but like again, most of the artists, you only got a handful of people who probably get something tweaked here and there, but yeah, everybody gets. I saw one girl. I like. There's an artist. I just thought she was like really attractive, um, and this is just sounding creepy because she's like young enough to be like my daughter essentially, but um, she was really attractive at her debut, right? She was kind of like, I guess she had kind of a little bit of a weight issue, so they just kind of made her dance more and feed her less. She eventually lost the weight, and so she like was looking really like healthy and like fit. And then I don't know what prompted either her or her management, but this was after her debut. She kind of got more work done on her, and now she kind of looks like the cookie cutter K-pop image. Um, which is I don't know. I just that's the kind of stuff I just like. Why, like she looked fine. She didn't need to do anything, and now she like her natural beauty is just kind of erased. And it's depending on who you talk to. I don't, obviously Koreans are going to think, oh, she looks much better now that she's had this surgery, but like that's all kind of freaking relative. It's not. Anyway, that's the kind of the sad reality that a lot of these. And then if you don't have the fame, if you don't have the skills, you're just kind of like forced into this like beauty standard where you just kind of buy into, oh, I'm not that attractive and I have to do something, and there's nothing wrong with you. Come on. So yeah, that's one just negative thing about, they just try to get you to like, beautify yourself, spend all this money on like face creams, anti-wrinkle stuff, body scrubs, face scrub. I mean, it's like this whole, I worked in the industry. This is how I know. The beauty industry just gets you to feel crappy about yourself. So you're spending a lot of money on makeup, skincare, hair care. There's this whole beauty industry that just thrives on Koreans feeling shitty about themselves. So it's an unfortunate byproduct of the entertainment industry. But again, you should be telling your kids, hey, you look fine. Ignore all that marketing mumbo jumbo, and just giving a real, your kids a real sense of like self-worth, because if they're looking at the ads and all this, and American social media is just as guilty, right? You have a lot of kids probably lacking some self-esteem, or maybe, I don't know, maybe the prompting a lot of people to work on themselves. You do see a lot of like young kids do at the gym and all this, and so I guess it's fine, as long as they're not like cutting their faces up and like trying to be something they're not. It should be fine. But yeah, it's a hard environment for kids to be in with all the marketing, the beauty image marketing that's going on. It's just Photoshop and just disconnected to reality. So all marketing to get you to do or be something that you're not. All right. That is it, because I'm starting to get in the ranty lecture stage, but I am going to end with just a reminder here. I've put the what are we doing here? I've put the link in the chat. I'm just going to kind of share what we're doing here one more time. Yeah, we're doing a community petition for Kim Sanho, for him to advocate for his inclusion into the Eisner Hall of Fame, Comic Book Hall of Fame in the coming class. So just add your name to the petition, sign, submit. What we're also asking is if you have a channel, to advocate on your channel, add the hashtag Sanho Kim, hashtag Eisner Hall of Fame, and just get that those hashtags kind of into the algorithm, and hopefully generating buzz and clicks and views. And again, it's going to be an organic kind of campaign. I'm hoping just with everybody's participation. It starts small here. My channel doesn't reach a lot of people, but if you're watching this, I really would appreciate your participation in this, and hope that you promote to your circles, because that's how these things work, right? It just starts with some active promotion amongst your friends and your inner circles, and for them to also do so. And pretty soon you've got a pretty pretty neat organic movement going. So that's one thing. I also want to make another announcement, and this one's a little bit harder to, you know, kind of announce, but we're at the end of AAPI Heritage Month 2026, and we've been, Naman, Hyung, and I, and a lot of the community members we've connected with and built relationships with and built content around together. I think this was our fourth year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think this is year 4. And it's been 4 great years, but Naman and I will not be partnering together anymore. And we've decided to kind of part ways in terms of doing this kind of content. I'm not going to speak on his behalf. I'm just going to focus on what I feel like I need to do. Again, there are some conflicts of interest and just conflicts with the vision we have for what we want to do this month that have led me to kind of, go my own way. And I do plan to continue to promote our community, promote issues. It's going to be harder alone, obviously, but I'm still passionate about API comic book heritage. And so at the end of the day, that's going to be my focus. And it's always been my focus. It's going to continue to be my focus. And it really is just a celebration of community. So as long as we're celebrating community, we're having fun, we're promoting our colleagues, our friends, our mentors in the industry. As long as we're doing this, it'll just be, I think, good to continue to do during API Heritage Month. So yeah, moving forward, next year, we'll see you back here for API Comic Book Heritage Month 2027. I will be here. Hopefully I'll have a lineup of people to talk to, interview, and feature on my channel. But I'm sure I'll also be joined by other community members. And it really is like a collaborative partnership with other channels and other members. So it's a shared space is kind of what I'm trying to get to. And yeah, I'm going to be doing my own thing, but anybody who wants to participate is welcome. Anybody who wants to create content for the month, there are ways to kind of we can create I've created a playlist. I would encourage everybody to create a playlist on their own. If you want to share my content on your playlist or with your viewers, you're more than welcome to. But that's kind of the idea, right? That we all create our own content. We all kind of share it. Hashtag AAPI Comic Book Heritage Month. This is our community, and we're all voices in it. So, the more the merrier. We want to be inclusive, not and not try to silence people. So that's my whole take on it. And yeah, moving forward, it just expect kind of more of the same from me. And again, thank you for engaging with us. It was a great month of fun conversations, a lot of fun content. And I know Alan went on tonight. They featured Alan on Naman's channel, so go check him out. Go check out that conversation, that video. And yeah, we'll see you here next next year. And also, again, look out for the Naman's video with where he's going to do a follow-up interview with Sanho Kim. Please support his efforts there to promote Master Kim with all the Eisner campaigning. There's going to be some additional coordination that we, as it gets going. We're going to try to share directives on what we want community members to do. So again, I've kind of shared here what I'm trying to promote with getting the judges to take notice. One is through our community content, another is through the community petition. So make sure you guys watch this video, like, share, do all the things, but share the links to the petition, create some content, add some hashtags, and that's it. So thank you for joining me, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.